Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on trauma therapy, Psychosis, movie about a self-help guru who's out of his mind. Smash like and subscribe. Oh, Tom Sizemore. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 12. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So, I guess this was made probably before Sizemore passed to promote. It feels very low budget because it's like the Tom Sizemore show. He probably agreed to do it so he could promote his podcast or whatever. But it's the idea is the guy guarantees results in a self-help thing, but he also tortures people and puts them through all sorts of trauma in order to achieve the results of not being afraid anymore. So they do all sorts of horrible things to people in order to get them, I don't know, fixed, but they also give them drugs. I mean, it just sounds nuts. It doesn't look all that particularly interesting, but it looks weird as hell. It looks like a very B-movie thing. I'm not sure how they equate this to help. I assume this is like somebody's dad. He's being held hostage because they've got daddy issues. And then this is the self-help guru, and he's just eternally optimistic. And then this is his ruthless sidekick. I mean, for a B movie, maybe I'd watch it. It doesn't look too gory or anything. It's got a little bit of a Squid Game sort of look to it. So I think they're sort of trying to capitalize on that, maybe. I assume this is some part of the therapy. And I don't know how the drugs come in. Sizemore, I guess, just interviews a guy and he talks about how great the therapy was. So they traumatize you and fix you, I guess. So breaking it down to 3 acts. Probably the first act, it's about a guy who's got his trauma or whatever and decides to go on this retreat with these other people. And they get there, and at first it seems a little weird, but relatively normal. But slowly they start to suspect it's, weirder than most, like illegally weird things. So they start doing strange things to them. They start talking about leaving, but they get pressured into staying. Second act, it just ramps up. They give them drugs. They make them do all sorts of things. People are getting, beaten and hurt, and I guess one of them dies because now there's only 4 people. And then they somehow justify that. And they just keep torturing him through the whole movie, psychologically, I guess. I mean, it could be good in that if you had interesting characters, you could make this work. And it could be that some of them actually overcome their fears. Right? And then the big twist could be something like, oh, you actually overcame it by destroying me, the self-help guru, and my wacky trauma therapy, right? Like that could be the big twist at the end. Oh, I know I'm doing bad. I wanted you to do this. I wanted you to defeat me. Maybe. Or it could just be, 2 hours of people getting tortured in weird ways, and then big revelation at the end. He's just crazy, and they all go to jail. Or not the people, well, maybe some of the people in the program, I don't know. Like this guy. I don't know. It can kind of go a bunch of different ways. I guess that guy is taking drugs there, snorting something. Definitely some characters are going to die. I know that. But I think it's very B movie, but not a bad pitch, I guess, for a B movie. Like, I don't hold any hope that this is going to be a good movie. It might be a good B movie. Okay, here we go. Got to write up. Self-help guru Tobin Vance has been exiled to the UK, avoiding arrest from the US operations. I'm not sure you'd be able to do that, but okay. Now he's secretly running more retreats with the help of new assistant Elizabeth and his acolyte John. Is this a sequel? It might be a sequel. Okay, well that sounds cool that they continued the story. Is John from the first movie? Like, was he one of the customers in the first movie? That would be a cool tie-in. So, yeah, kind of like it. Maybe they franchise this. All right. Would I see it? Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't be super high on my list, but I'm kind of intrigued by it. It does look very low budget, but sometimes low budget is good. They don't follow the normal Hollywood tropes. I guess it's this guy that dies early on. I don't know. I'd check it out. At the very least, I'd check it out. Like, this to me is a movie you see, you know, you're dying to watch a movie and you go through the Netflix list and you kind of watched all the good stuff and then you see this movie and you're like, well, how bad could it be? And, you know, I wouldn't expect it to be great, but I'd expect it to be watchable for me. It doesn't look too gory. Like, I don't mind this kind of crazy stuff if it's not super gory. I don't want to see gore, right? If they're doing psychological stuff, like, that's more interesting because it speaks to the characters more. And the Squid Game sort of look to it kind of helps it. So, and you could see it, maybe, yeah, you could see it. And maybe it's sort of like a cult-like thing. There's some culty vibe to it. She's kind of, I guess she disappears too because she's not later in the trailer, but I don't know. I don't know. This guy looks like he's one of the main guys. He goes cuckoo bananas. Maybe he breaks underneath all the strain. Maybe that's the idea. All right. All right. That's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. I will be at Cassiano's in Hamilton, New Jersey on Saturday at 4 p.m. during the Fringe Festival. It's going to be happening in town. If you haven't been to the Fringe, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I think I'm going to be behind Cassiano's. The last time I was on the street out front. I think this time I'm going to be in the back because I think they're holding some of the performances there. Should be a fun day. Hopefully nice weather. I think we're going to have nice weather. All right. We'll be back with more videos later. See you in the next one.